20 years, people are like, no, this place is good Mexican. And I'm just like, no, it's not. It's not. There's no good Mexican food in New York.
I hate to break it to y'all, but I think Papi Pascal might be right on this one. As always, make sure to follow my social media accounts at It's Lielers on Instagram, Threads, and Eggs, and subscribe to the YouTube channel at It's Lielers. And also do not forget to follow me on TikTok at Lielers. Lielers on TikTok. Yes, TikTok is still, here. It hasn't been banned, so I'm just like, but then again, the algorithm hasn't been the same. What happened to my Chinese spy, okay? Did my Chinese spy all of a sudden shifted to a white spy? Yeah. But anywho, we're finally here. The blog is here. Thank you guys for tuning in. But yeah, I can't believe it's been a week since I kind of came back. Since you guys already know, this blog video is about my trip of me going to New York City for the first time. But the thing I mentioned on one of the last podcast episodes was that it was going to be snowing in. And yes, unfortunately, my flight got freaking canceled on Wednesday. I was supposed to leave that day and then come back Saturday. But thanks to the snowstorm, which by the way, a lot of, basically Houston was shut down that day. And I mean, I guess. So it was Tuesday and Wednesday that it was supposed to be snowing in. And Tuesday, it snows so much. Like, I haven't seen snow since freaking Alabama. So that's what I call snow. What we had back in 2021, that was nothing. That was just pure ice. So I was like, okay, this is real snow. And yes, it was nice and all, but because of the temperatures that we had, the snow took a while for it to defrost. And whenever it did defrost, all that was left was a bunch of black ice. So, of course, traveling was hella dangerous for people that do not know how to drive in the ice or in the snow, whatever. And that caused a shutdown in all the airports because, planes can't also fly out with black ice, just there on the ramp. So, because of that, I got notified that my flight got canceled. The good thing was I was not planning to let my trip go to waste because I'm like, ain't no way I'm going to turn 30 in Houston. I'm sorry, okay? But I was like, I'd rather turn to a whole different age somewhere new, That's why I do, vacation trips during my birthday. And so I was like, I'm not going to let this go to waste. So fuck it. If I have to fly out to New York literally on my birthday, I will fucking do it. And because of that, I ended up extending my trip. And instead of coming back on Saturday, and let the day go to waste, I came back Sunday. So that's why the blog video is so freaking late. As soon as I landed on Sunday, it was like 7 p.m. So I was like, great. So much for me trying to edit the freaking blog video and all of that. So here we are. But yeah, New York City, the reason why I decided to spend my 30th birthday, I'm saying that ugh. And at first I was like, oh, I don't want to turn 30 and everything. But then Bad Bunny released a song called, in English is E-O-O, whatever, but in Spanish is Ayo, So on the lyrics, he just said, everybody's turning 30. It's our year. So I was like, great. That makes me feel so much better because, I'm over there turning up and everything, turning 30 and whatnot. But at the same time, I'm like, the other reason why I wanted to spend my 30th birthday in New York City, for those that personally know me, my real name is Delilah. I really don't like saying my name out loud, but I only say it because when you hear it, the first thing that a lot of people come to mind is, wait a second, that's your name. What's it like in New York City? So I get that asked a lot. I've been asked, how's it like in New York City since I was a child. So when the song came out by Plain White Tees, I think I was in I was barely starting 7th grade. So it was like 6th grade during the summer turning into 7th grade. Because I remember when I walked into history class, people were like, oh, hey there, Delilah. And I'm like, oh, God, no. But I don't mind it. So if you guys ever do ask me now, what's it like in New York City? Oh, my God. I really don't have an answer for it because I could say it's awesome, it's amazing, it's breathtaking, but I want you guys to see the experience firsthand So I'm so excited that I got to do this. And I'm like, great, because I know the last blog video, I was like, I wish I kind of did this for like my birthday vacation last year. So last year I went to my hometown in Leeds, Alabama, and then I went to this small town in Georgia called Helen. And in there, I call it mini Germany. It's like a really tiny German place, and it's like a nice escape. So whenever I was in Helen, it was like a really small village. I was like, I could get lost in here. But, you know, obviously for vacation reasons, I'm like, there's no way I wanted to stay. New York City was a whole different level. For me, I was like, I could literally live here. But whenever it comes to the rent prices, and then the worst part is what you're paying for, I'm like, I think Texas is a little bit much better. And I only say that was because the hotel room I was in, and you guys will get to see it, but the hotel room that I was in was smaller than my own freaking room. Like, no. And I get it now why New Yorkers go to California, especially like in LA, to get the big houses. But then now we have Californians coming to freaking Texas because of the gas, and probably because we don't pay that much in taxes. So I don't know. But at the same time, I'm like, great, it's whatever. I had an amazing time. I wish I could go back. Hell, I'm already thinking when I'm going to go back. I know it's not going to be this year, not even maybe next year, probably in 2027. We will see, depending what happens. Like, anything can happen literally in a year, a couple months, whatever. But for sure, I want to go back to New York City. It was beautiful. And I know there's like a lot of videos out there on social media where people was like, oh, don't visit New York City, it's horrible, this and that. You know, all New Yorkers are so mean to the tourists. I mean, there were a few, but I get why they get upset. They get impatient, because I get impatient. So like, whenever you're over there trying to order, you better know your freaking order right then and there. Because that's how I was. I was like, before I go to a place, I'm going to know what I want, so that way I can just spit it out. And I think they love that. They love that I already knew what I wanted. It's like, all right, let's go, because it's always moving like so fast. That's how New York City is. It moves so freaking fast. Same thing like with the subways. There's reservations that you have to make time, and you're trying to make it from the opposite side of where you're at so you can get there in time. Like, I understand that, and I love it. I think I love a little chaos. And I thought I was going to hate New York City only because I hate the city. Like, I hate Houston because it's a major city. We deal with traffic. New York is just the same way, except you don't deal with traffic. You go to the subway to avoid traffic. Like, I was literally in one side of New York, and like 10 minutes later, I'm on the opposites because I took the subway. So I'm like, that makes sense. So I get it, even though it is a steep price. I literally pay, what, $2.90 every time I enter the subway station. I'm like, yeah, it's a little bit pricey, but then again, that's the lifestyle of a New Yorker. So I'm not going to say, oh my God, I'm a New Yorker. No, at all. But just getting a taste of what it is to feel like a New Yorker, you're just like, whoa. Some of it, like some part of it, it's like, oh, this is not for me. And some people are just like, I love it here. So I was one of those people where I'm like, fuck the cold, because I was used to it. By the way, you're going to see that. Like, fuck it. Like, whenever I went to the top of the Empire State Building, I was without a jacket, and I think it was probably like 20-something degree weather. And I was just like, this is nothing. Like, I'm used to it. That's how it was in Alabama, by the way. It wasn't like always 20 degrees, but there were most of the times where it was hella cold. I was used to it. So there's that. But yeah, like, I know there's so many opinions about New York City, and I'm just like, you know what? This is why we have the blog video. So I'm going to go ahead and stop rambling, because I know that's what you guys want to see. You guys want to see New York from my eyes, from my perspective, and I know everybody has a different perspective of it. And then at the end of the blog video, we're going to do a haul. I have these 2 bags full of merch, but we got to go through all of the stuff. And that's just not everything that I bought. It was like, I don't know, maybe like 25% of what I bought. Most of the other stuff was like souvenirs that I got from my family. So there's that. But yeah, we're going to go through the hauls of the things that I got. And obviously you can see right here, there's a postcard with the Empire State Building. But yeah, so I'm going to stop rambling. So I will see you guys at the very end. And without further ado, let's go ahead and get the vlog started. You guys are not gonna believe. Okay, this room is really small, just so y'all know. Not compared to Dallas. Look at this. The view. This is beautiful. Oh my god. The sun is setting. $20.25 is right behind me. Olive Garden, what are you doing here? Explain. Jimmy, let me interview you. We're here to the city that never sleeps. You're coming home with me. So I just left here, right? I bought my stuff. Tell me why the cashier was hella cute. If you're seeing this, literally hit me up. Here come the sun. I feel weird. This thing is massive. Well, I'm sad because the day is over and now it's time to head home. Good morning. So pretty. I am so tired. I feel like I think I only got maybe 5 or 6 hours of sleep. I couldn't sleep whatsoever, but I was too excited because of everything that's been happening. But I gotta get ready. So get ready with me, I guess. I literally have everything just scattered and whatnot, but I think it's a bummer the hotel couldn't freaking accommodate us just because our flight got canceled. Like, it's out of our control and everything, but they treat you like shit just because you get non-refundable and whatnot. So it's the same way with airlines. It's like whenever you buy the cheap seats, like, you don't have a seat assigned and everything, they give you the standby ticket, and that is like an excuse for them to just go ahead and leave you behind. So it's like, bro, I swear, the way how this economy works, the way how businesses are, is unfair. But yeah, no, I really love this hotel, and I'm kind of bummed that we're not able to stay for another night here. So now it's more like, oh great, I gotta take advantage of this hotel, because yeah, like yesterday I was like, oh, I'm so mad that we're gonna leave soon, and today I'm just like, well, gotta make the best of it, even though we're not gonna be here at the hotel most of the time. So it is what it is. But today we're actually gonna be going to the Statue of Liberty and the 9/11 Memorial Museum, which I'm not actually ready for. The only reason why is because, you know, I get to see the history like firsthand, and it's like I hear that it's so depressing, and I'm just like, I'm not ready for it. I went to, like, in Houston, there's actually like a Houston Holocaust Museum that I went to go visit, and I remember how depressed I was just hearing about all the victims that had to survive the Holocaust. And yeah, it makes you very emotional. So you can only imagine like here, because over here it's been what, 20, we're heading to, has it been that long? Yeah, 24 years, which is crazy. But I mean, I want to go pay my respects. And for me, like, I also get emotional because, like, we know that Zelina Vega's dad was one of those victims. And so I'm like, I feel very sad whenever like she posts those pictures on Instagram about her dad, and I'm just like, you know, I feel really sad for her. But in New York right now, it's like 20 something degrees outside. It's so freaking cold. I mean, I can't tell because I'm used to this weather. But at the same time, like, once it's nighttime, you feel it, especially like whenever the wind keeps blowing, you feel it. And I remember like yesterday when we were like in certain areas of the building where the wind is blowing, the building is blocking it. So you feel a little bit warm for a bit, but then once you head out into the main street, you just get the wind all of a sudden. It's like, oh my god, it's freezing. I will admit too, if you guys do come to New York, you gotta know where you're heading when it comes to the subway station, because I was this close to make the mistake of going downtown instead of uptown. So I mean, come on guys, it's really common when you hear the difference. So if you're going to uptown, you're basically going up north, just anywhere, whether if it's like Harlem, Central Park, like where we're at, it's like those areas. And when you're going downtown, you're heading to where, like, the south of Manhattan, where like the 9/11 museums at, Statue of Liberty, all of those. And thank God for Google Maps, because I would have been lost. But yeah, I'm excited. I can't wait, because today is gonna be a lot. It's a full day of walking. Same thing for tomorrow, but it doesn't feel like it, only because we have to leave the hotel at 12, and then we gotta waste 3 hours and then come back, put up the stuff, continue the day from then on, and then Sunday we're leaving. It is what it is. We had to spend more money just so we could get the freaking accommodation for Sunday. If not, we would have just lost a full day and then, you know, rush back tomorrow. But hey, I mean, we're here. In case if you guys are asking what kind of makeup I use, I literally use nothing but NYX. I love NYX. Like, even my primer, everything is NYX. Like, love it. Oh, and even the foundation that I use, I love NYX. It's cheap. It's cheaper and it works. It literally keeps me going. So I'm like, oh my God. I don't know what color am I gonna do for this because I'm wearing my Helen shirt. This is my Pitbull shirt. But I'm just like, I usually go for colors, but I did not bring a color palette. So I think I'm gonna go with brown maybe. I'm looking. I could go for black, but it's gonna look like weird. I'm starting to put color on my eyes. Yeah, I don't know why. We're gonna change to smoky eye in a bit. So yeah, that's what it looks like. It gives my eyes more dimension if you ask me, but it's more like, I don't know. I don't know how to explain it. This is the look in a way. We'll see how far it will last. Okay, I think we are done. Now, let me go ahead and hurry up and put everything else that I need to put on, and let's head out. So this is how it feels like to be in Titanic, you know? Wait, ice on the water? Okay, I'm bored. Let's go see what else to do. What are you doing here?
$5, 2 por 8, amigo, a la orden.
Look what I found. This is Selena Vega's dad. It's so sad. just a bridge. But then again, I watch Cloverfield, so I'm getting those vibes right now. There's a thing I learned with Little Italy. They have a lot of people outside asking you, come in and eat with us and this and that. It's just like actual Italy. And they say that in actual Italy, if you were to do that, it means it's not an authentic Italian restaurant. So it is basically not an Italian restaurant over here where we're at. Well, unfortunately, today is the last night I have at this amazing hotel. But yeah, I don't think I'll probably book it again, or maybe just depending if that whole non-refundable thing probably changes to fully refundable. We will see. You can hear I'm actually watching SmackDown in the background. When I got back to the hotel, I was like, it's so early. But then I realized, I'm like, wait a second. I'm like, it's hella early right now in Houston, meaning that it's almost about to be 7 o'clock. And next thing I know, I'm like, oh my God, Friday Night SmackDown's about to be on. So yeah, I am watching that in the background and staying up to date with what's going on with wrestling. But yeah, I'm kind of bummed. And at the same time, I kind of hate the fact that my feet are like done. They're like, we cannot go on any longer. Honestly, though, like, I feel really rested right now. I'm like this close to just like go back out, but I'm like, no, I can't. I can't go by myself. I do need to start packing just everything that I have so that way, tomorrow morning we're gonna go to the Empire State Building, come back, take the bags out. And thank God New York City has like luggage lockers where you can actually like lock up your luggage, do whatever you gotta do, and then take them out whenever it's time to check in at a new hotel. And I'm like, man, if only we had that in Houston or just like anywhere else, that would be so convenient for just anything. And the only reason why I decided to look it up is because I know Mexico City has that. Like, Mexico City has luggage lockers. I'm like, and of course, I'm not surprised that New York City has it too. So even more reasons. I will admit though, I am starting to fall in love with this place just little by little. And the only reason why I won't say like, oh my God, I gotta move to New York City is because one, obviously I don't know anybody. But two, it's mostly because of how expensive it is. I know some people would say, oh, well, once you start making the New York, wage, then you'll be able to afford a place. And I'm like, no, because I've seen some apartments that they're so small. They're smaller than my own freaking room. Like, this hotel room is still smaller than my room. My room is actually bigger and I have a bigger closet space. Like, obviously it's a hotel. This closet space is nothing. It's like literally this big. And I'm like, I don't mind it. And there's a restroom too at that. But that would be like an apartment in New York City. And I want to say, like, right behind me, I swear to God, I think those are people that are living like on the other side. And that's okay. I'm using the backdrop. And actually, if you can see, there's the One World Trade Center building right behind me. It's a nice view. I wish I could do like high enough so you could see it, but I mean, it's not gonna work as much as I wanted. But yeah, like, this place is really nice. I would probably book again, but now I understand why like a lot of buildings are so tall, because they're so reduced in space. Like, just getting out of the freaking elevator, I felt like, like claustrophobia. I'm like, this is hella small. Like, not even in Mexico City, not even in Texas, like anywhere else, hotels are this small. But yeah, like, overall, New York City, yeah, It's crazy. I mean, I will say that we probably had a few odd encounters, but not where it was taking over the whole place. It's just depending where you go. Over here where we're staying at in Chelsea, I love it. It's really nice. Just commuting to other places, it's so easy and all of that. So I'm like, the subway thing, yeah, I get it. It's kind of complicated. Even I'm over there struggling with Google Maps. Like, bro, like fucking refresh. Because once you're already underneath the subway station, your signal either goes out or it's like very weak. So, like, obviously following along, it makes sense as long as you're reading what it says and making sure that you're in the right lane, whether if it's uptown or downtown. But yeah, I wish we had more time, but at the same time, I'm like, the way how my feet are, no, like my feet are not. Damian Priest just walked in. Sorry, he just walked in over here and about to go up against Carmella, maybe. He's like, nah. Anywho, I'm getting distracted, but I think this is a good time to just say, okay, 2 full days in NYC is good enough. And then, like, those other half days can just make up for it after that. I'm so happy that I'm here. Like, literally last year, I was in Helen, Georgia, but even though I was there and I was passing by my hometown, like it was fun and all, but I never expected to come here. So I can't wait for more future trips. But since you guys are watching this blog video, I will let you guys know the next, I'm not saying, well, the next blog video, but like the next trip that I have planned will be me going back to my hometown. So the way how I wish everything plans out and nothing happens and all of that will lead off to me going to my hometown for Memorial Weekend. So I cannot wait to go back. So this is gonna be fun. I'm gonna go with my sister, so that's gonna be another thing where she gets to get her memories back when she was a child, because we both grew in Alabama. We grew up there. That's why I'm used to the cold weather. You don't see me freezing to death and all of that, even though today was one of those days where I was delicate. So yeah, but other than that, yeah, the next trip I'm gonna go is gonna be back to my hometown, and then after that we'll see. I don't know, like there's so many trips that I want to go, but for sure, when I tell you guys this, I cannot wait to come back to New York City. I love it. It's so good. And the way how I'm so mesmerized by everybody else that comes in to visit. Everywhere obviously that we went is touristic areas. So I was not expecting to blend in with everybody from around the world visiting those same places with me. It's so beautiful. Like it's crazy. Like you would think, oh, people from United States are visiting, just in countries in United States. No. People from all over the world. And I wish I was multilingual where I can like talk to them in that language. Or if anything, just get those freaking earbuds where you can like hear what they're saying and whatnot. Ugh, I wish, but I wish I was multilingual so I can talk to these people and be like, hey, welcome to USA, whatever. But then again, I'm also from out of town, but I love it. It's so fascinating. So tomorrow, the plan is to go to Central Park, walk around. Hopefully it's a good vibe. Obviously it's going to be on the weekend, so I'm pretty sure there's going to be a lot of places to go and visit. I'm praying and hoping my feet do not give out. Like these two puppers, they need to survive because tomorrow is the last full day, even though it doesn't feel like it for the same reason that we're moving hotels and I won't be able to talk to you guys after this. But like, even though it is still a full day, it doesn't feel like it. We still have so much to do because then on Sunday in the morning, I'm going to try my best to go to all the places that I still haven't gone, and then come back, check out, head back to the airport, and go home after that. That's the only thing I don't like and I didn't want to do, is to come back on a Sunday, because I won't have time to unpack and all of that. And obviously I have to edit the blog video and all of that. But at the same time, I'm like, well, I mean, things happen for a reason, and you take advantage of the time that you have. So we managed to extend the day and I cannot wait. So this is me saying good night, and I'll see you guys on the next day. Little, is that you? LinkedIn is here? Hey, I need a job in New York. Who is Haley Steinfeld standing next to? I don't see anybody. I feel like I landed in Hipster City in New York. Well, I'm already here. Now I gotta go back to Times Square. Fun. You're coming home with me. Somebody come get him. He's dancing like a stripper. I'm back here, but I'm too shy to give him my number. Never mind, I'm gonna go ahead and go. I miss you, Mama. Hippity. I missed you, Mama. Alright, go to shit. And now we're back to Houston. Fun. I hope you guys did enjoy that long blog video. But I do miss it. I still can't believe it's been literally a week. So we recorded the beginning of the video yesterday, which was on Saturday. And I'm recording the ending the next day on a Sunday. So because of that, there will not be a podcast episode today. Oh, I'm so sad. But anywho, yeah, I literally got back last week. Exactly a week ago. Oh my God. It doesn't even feel surreal to me. It feels like it was just like yesterday all of a sudden. And then bam, we're back to this. But how I promised, we're going to go ahead and do a haul. I'm going to show you guys all the different things that I bought. And I'm going to start with this biggest bag that I got at Bao Schwartz. The only reason why I heard of it was through TikTok, because apparently inside that store there is this toy called Jellycat, and I've been seeing a lot of videos that when people go over there, you will actually like order a plushie, and the people, whoever that are behind the counter, will give you guys like this restaurant slash bakery experience, even though it's all like, you know, make believe, but it is for the kids, so it makes sense. So I wanted to check it out, and while I was over there, I was like, let me see what else do they have. So what kind of surprised me the most is that they had a Funko Pop where you can actually build your own Funko Pop. So I built this thing. It looks so weird right now because it's been in a box for the longest. So I built this. And I was like, you know what? I'm surprised that you can actually build Funko Pops over there. So I'm like, let me go ahead and give myself the experience. And plus, it was my birthday. So this is technically my birthday gift for myself. Shout out to the person that was helping me with, you know, making this, because they gave me this for free. He was like, it's your birthday. You can keep it. And I'm like, oh, okay, well, Thank you, you know. So apparently you make your own creature. You pick up the little figures that you want. They're all individual. Like, for example, the head. This is what it looks like. The head, the body, the legs, all of the accessories. They were all like separated. So if you guys have not ever built your own Funko Pop, it's an experience. So I always wanted to do this. And then now that I found a Funko Pop there, I was like, oh hell yeah, I kind of want this. If I was like making my own Funko Pop, which by the way, I have two. They're somewhere over here. You can't see them, but they're like high up. I have two of them. And because they have the Deadpool / Wolverine ones, I was like, let me go ahead and take advantage of it. So we got these. So this one, I made it a long time ago. This was whenever I had glasses at the time. Of course, you already know I had LASIK surgery. But it had a different outfit. So I just ended up buying the add-on for Wolverine and just decided to dress her up. And then this one for Deadpool because, you know, I love Deadpool. So now I have two. But yes, I already have my own Funko Pops, okay? So I'm like, don't expect people to say, oh, well, why don't you make your own this, and that? Because I already do. So this is what she looks. It looks weird. You can zoom into it. But yeah, this is the figure that I created. So I was like, fuck it, why not? Get the Funko experience. So I like it. I was like, it looks like a dog, but yeah. I'm not a child, so I don't have that creativity anymore. Like I do, but now it's for work reasons and it's not like the same. But anywho, yeah, that is what I decided to create while I was over there at Fout Shorts. So yeah, that's what I got. I also got this little toy called Teddy Bears. So this, again, I have no idea what it is. I just saw it and I was like, this is like, I guess you would say this is an impulse buy. So like, of course, the many things I probably won't get over when I turn 30, I'm still going to do impulse buying. But yeah, I was like, oh, what is this? And it's called a doodle bear. And I think it's just a bear that was like doodled in. And it's like, I like odd things. So I'm like, this is something that I'm going to get. And I already can see Cosmo looking at this like it's something to chew out of. And I'm like, oh, hell no. This is going back in the coffin as it should. And let's just pretend that he's just there, you know, because I know Cosmo will destroy it in like a second. So yeah, that's all I bought from Foul Shorts, which by the way, this bag cost me 20 bucks. I was like, damn. But it was worth it. I like these little bags. Sometimes I use them for whenever I'm traveling or God knows what. This was very handy whenever I was walking around New York City. So I'm like, thank God I bought the bag. But anywho, like, so whenever I mentioned the guy at the store, I was like not expecting for him to be like the one that would check me out of the register. So he was one of the cashiers. It was separate from the guy that was helping me out at the Funko Pop. And it was so funny because he complimented me about my Deadpool bag. And I was so thrown off because I'm like, okay, well, first of all, he's very attractive. And I was like, ain't no way I'm going to New York just to fall in love with somebody that I'm not going to see ever again. Or I don't know. I mean, but yeah, I was over there blushing. So I am so sorry if I make you uncomfortable, if whoever's watching this. By the way, I do have the receipt and I do have his name. And I was just like, I could, but at the same time, when I mean by I could literally just go on TikTok and be like, look, TikTok, do your job, find this person for me. But I'm like, no, I'm too shy. If Destiny says it's gonna happen, it's gonna happen. So yeah. But anywho, that's what I got from Foul Shorts. After that, I think I was walking around for a bit. I saw another store around Rockefeller Center and it had like a lot of cute things. I forgot to bring one thing from the kitchen. I bought this magnet that had I think it's called a beagle. It's a dog that looks like a Frenchie, but it's not a Frenchie. They're very skinny. They have black and white colors, and they still have them like, they have the black colors all around right here. But when I saw it, I was like, it looks like a Frenchie. I'm gonna get it. Another impulse buy, right? But alongside with that, I think I also bought a few souvenirs from there. But another thing that I got myself was Statue of Liberty building blocks. I also like to build Legos, but not that much. I don't have that patience for it. But I'm like, let me get this because I know for sure when I went to the Statue of Liberty, they had something like this. But I was like, I am not going to spend, I don't know what, 30 bucks just for it. If I'm going to buy something like officially from Lego, it's going to be the one that they have of the Statue of Liberty. But that's expensive. So maybe another time. For now, this will do. So I bought myself this. The next day was when we went to the Statue of Liberty. It was so funny. So I bought some souvenirs. I think the only thing I got myself was... Actually, I didn't get myself anything from there. Technically speaking, the only thing I got was this bag. So you can actually purchase this bag, but for some reason, like, I bought a plushie for my sister, and because it was so big, they gave me the bag. I was like, oh, hell yeah, I don't need to be buying anything. And then all the other small things that I got, like, they will give it to you in this little paper bag. Which, by the way, yeah, I'm keeping the little things over here. So, yeah, that's why I'm like, let me show off this bag. Which comes in handy in case if I'm carrying small things. And again, this really helped me out a lot whenever I was walking around. Because after the Statue of Liberty, then we went to the 9/11 Memorial Museum. And again, I was carrying that. And then after that was the Brooklyn Bridge. So I was like, okay, well, we don't have to carry much. The good thing I have that bag. And then after the Brooklyn Bridge, then comes Chinatown. So Chinatown is going to be the best place for you guys to get your souvenirs. Why do I say this? Because, oh my God, I forgot to show you this. This is a good example too. When I went to Top of the Rock, this was the very first attraction that I went. This keychain alone cost me $10, by the way. This is Top of the Rock keychain. Let me see if you can see it right here. Bam. And I mean, yeah, it flips and whatnot. For $10, I was like, you know, and that was the only thing I bought myself at Top of the Rock. When I went to Chinatown, most of the keychains in there were hella cheap. I could have sworn on one of the shops, it said you can get 8 keychains. 8 keychains for $10. $10. That's a steal. And I saw those same stores like either in Times Square or close to the Brooklyn Bridge. And they were hella expensive. It would have been like 2 keychains for $10. But I'm like, 8? And I didn't record those places because they had a lot of staff members just watching you and all of that. But here's the thing. This is why I love Chinatown. So I noticed the pattern that most of the stores, and I don't want to like profile people, but once I say that, you kind of get the idea. There were like, the stores look so similar that it was run by the same people. And what I mean by that is that when you go in, you actually have the ability to negotiate the prices. They're not set prices. I don't have any souvenirs to show you that I got for my family. But for example, I had a sweater that I was looking for my nephew. My nephew, he's really picky. So I was just like debating on what to get. And so I was looking at one of the hoodies. It was plain basic, whatever. I was like, how much is this jacket? And he's like, oh, $50, right? And I was like, okay, you know, whatever. It's not for me. You know, I'll try to find something else. But he was like, oh, well, what size are you looking for? And I'm like, no, I'm probably not interested. And then he just drops the price all of a sudden to, I think it was $25. And I was like, okay, well, I guess I'll go ahead and buy it for $25 shit. But that's the thing. I feel like because they're always trying to sell you something, they're going to try to fix the prices for you. There is the same looking store in a whole different area in Chinatown where these people were selling like statues or figures of the Empire State Building. And I noticed a lot of them had King Kong like holding on to it and whatnot. And I was like, I really want one of these. I've been seeing it in so many other souvenir stores. And I'm like, let me see if I can negotiate my price with it. And there was this really big one that they were selling it for like 120, I think. It was over 100 for sure. And I was like, okay, well, it's my lost cause. I don't want anything small either way. But the guy was like, no, well, and he tried to keep lowering the price. And I think the lowest we got was $30. But he was only going to give me King Kong itself, not with the Empire State Building. And I'm like, no, I want both of them combined. And he's like, no, I think the lowest he will probably go with 75. And I'm like, I don't need it that much. And plus, before I even went to the Empire State Building, it was when I was in Chinatown. So I didn't know what else I'm going to see at the Empire State Building, which I'll get into that in a bit. But like, I'm getting ahead of myself. One of the keychains I got myself was this one. It's giving me Sin City vibes. So this is what it looks like. And of course, they call New York the Great Apple. That's how you know I'm so ignorant. But yeah, this keychain, I think it was like $3. So I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna get it, right? That, and then this beautiful license plate that says New York City. I have 3 license plates that are from New Mexico, and they all have their different designs because obviously you already know when you have your car licenses, whatever you call them, the tags, they change designs. So when I saw this one, I'm like, it's not the legit New York City one, because I never seen tags that have the Statue of Liberty, or maybe I might be mistaken. But either way, I'm like, well, it looks like I'm collecting, card tags or whatever you guys want to call them. And I'm like, well, I've never been in New York City, so boom, we got that. So this is for me. Another thing, and I got ahead of myself because this was before I hit Chinatown. But whenever you get out of the 9/11 Memorial Museum, I think there was a shop. But I was like, I'm not going to buy anything. I'm not going to say like I'm going to buy something just to show off that I went to the memorial. Like, that's not really like a souvenir thing. But the good thing is whenever you walk out of the museum, there's like this big cube of free wristbands. And I was like, this I can do. Like, I can do these freaking wristbands. This is something that I can settle for. I highly recommend for you guys to check out the museum if you're ever in New York. And now that I'm talking about, I'm over here showing off the hall and everything. Some of you guys may also wonder, how in the hell did I manage to get to all of those places? Like, obviously, it was a lot of money to spend. I highly recommend this thing called City Pass. So, it's not a sponsor or anything, but then again, City Pass sponsor me because damn. So, City Pass, the way how it works is you actually pay a fee. I forgot how much I paid. I want to say it was like 180 maybe. I don't know. But I pay that much, and then you actually get to select, in New York City, for example, you can select up to 5 attractions. And 2 of them that are already included is the Empire State Building and the American Museum of Natural History. I had to look it up, the tickets like right here. So those are already automatically in there. But from the other ones that you get to choose from is Statue of Liberty, 9/11 Memorial Museum, Top of the Rock. And then there were other museums on there to this day. I still can't remember because they were like, meh, But Top of the Rock was in there. And I'm like, I'm definitely going to go into Top of the Rock. And that was actually the first stop that we went to. So I was like, great. So I highly recommend City Pass. That's why I'm like, you saved a ton of money instead of you actually having to buy the tickets individually. And you can change the reservations of that because, again, I had originally planned that I was going to go to the Empire State Building the day I was going to land, which was supposed to be on Wednesday. But because of the flight cancellation, I had to change it to a different day, which happened to be on Saturday morning instead. So I'm like, I love City Pass. Thank you for that. All right, now let's go to bag number 2. This one. So this is the one that I got at the Empire State Building. And then here is what it says. This is what it says. So I'm like, great, gotta buy more stuff. But hear me out, okay? I was not planning to buy anything from this place. But then again, I was like, well, this was when did we go? I want to say this was Saturday morning when we went. And I was like, great, I'm not gonna buy anything. But at the same time, because Chinatown wasn't giving me what I wanted, I'm like, I'm gonna find something, like maybe a figure of the Empire State Building. I was surprised to find this. What's in this box? Oh my god. And I actually can see a picture of it. But I'm like, this is so much better than what I saw in Chinatown. So I was like, great. I'm glad that, things happen for a reason. And this one was brand new. So it's like, it's like still in the styrofoam box. The cashier was helping me out. And I was going to buy the figure that I got from the counter. But she was like, no, we got it like, brand new in the box. It hasn't been out. So I was like, okay. So this one cost me $20 for 20 freaking bucks. And I want to say it's worth it. So this is what I got. Hallelujah. 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 So yeah, it says New York. And we got my boy Kong. Oh, damn, he got a big... My boy. I was like, yeah. So we see King Kong right here, right? Damn. Look at them cheeks. But yeah, we have Kong hanging on the Empire State Building, which is something that, again, I've been wanting. And then we got Statue of Liberty right here. I want to say this is the Brooklyn Bridge. The ocean, the ferry, and then in the back you get the taxis, which, yeah, we did see a lot of taxis. But still, for 20 bucks, yes. So this is probably going to be here somewhere. Actually, let's might as well put it right here. You can barely see it, but it's there. But yeah, so I have that. And then the other thing that I bought myself, unfortunately, I had to wrap it myself. But I was like, hey, free tissue paper. They had a shit ton of tissue paper in there. And I was like, well, since this is going to go into my luggage, I'm going to freaking treasure it like there's no tomorrow. Oh my God. I'll tell you that story in a bit. But this is the next thing I got. It's a mug. And you would think that is probably the cringiest thing you ever purchased, Lielers. But I'm like, no, it is not. Why? Because we still got our loyal and faithful Kong with a slightly dump truck holding on to the Empire State. So yeah, I got myself a mug. So yeah. And this one was 25 bucks. So I'm like, okay. All right. And no, I did not see this in Chinatown. Or maybe I wasn't looking hard enough. But at the same time, I'm like, this is from the actual Empire State Building. So there's that. And yeah, so I'll get into the other things that I wanted to say in a bit with the whole luggage and whatnot. But the last thing I also wanted to show you guys is what I got at Nintendo New York. So I only got 3 things. And unfortunately, I didn't get a bag for it. So I just got a regular red bag. But the first thing I got was a shirt that says Nintendo New York. I was going to wear it, but you won't be able to see it. All you were going to see is just a black shirt because it's very low. Yeah. But how you know it's a legit shirt? You got the seal right here. Well, that and the official Nintendo seal right there. So yeah, but I love it. And it says here, where everyone comes to play, Nintendo New York. Oh my God. Yeah, so I'm really happy that I got this shirt. I know there's so many other shirts that people would like wear. Like, for example, the I Love New York shirts. But I was like, I'm not going to get that. It's like, I've seen so many people wearing those kind of shirts. And I'm like, no, this is probably one of the best shirts that I got. Because it's Nintendo. So yeah. The other thing was a keychain. And this one is from Mario Kart. I love Mario Kart. So we got the Mario Kart. You get all these little charms. Obviously, can never mess with people with the blue shell. And then this. It's so cute. So I was like, hooray. I think this one cost me like 15 bucks. It was a little bit pricey. But not as pricey as... So yeah, of course you guys saw me on the video where I was like, you're coming home with me. I know some of you guys are probably like, wait a second, didn't you get the dog as well from Foul Shorts? I'm like, no. I ended up putting that one back only because, again, it was giving me beagle vibes, like the dog beagle and not the Frenchie. So I'm like, oh, of course. And they say Frenchies is the most popular dog, yet I'm over here struggling finding Frenchie merchandise. What's all that about? But anywho, yes, I had to get Pikachu in Statue of Liberty mode because, I mean, come on. I was in New York. I went to the Statue of Liberty. This should be at the Statue of Liberty store. But then again, because of license reasons, it makes sense why it has to be a Nintendo. So yeah, that's mostly all I got for myself. Again, I ended up buying more souvenirs from my family members. So obviously you're not going to see that because I already gave that to them. Back to what I was saying about the luggage. So yes, this is why I used a lot of tissue paper for my mug because I didn't want it to break. So the airline that I went was called Spirit Airlines. You already know a lot of people are talking shit about it. And the only reason why I went was because it was included to my package and it was cheaper, okay? At the end of the day, I'm still cheap for a reason. And this is what I get for being cheap. You can't see it, and I'm not planning to bring the camera to where it's at, but my luggage as we speak right now, my checked luggage got damaged. And people are like, well, that's what you get for choosing Spirit. What I didn't know is that you can actually make a claim for damaged luggage, but you have to do it in 4 freaking hours. So I did not know that. The person that was at baggage claim, and this was like another person, it was like, I think it was a tourist or, you know, a resident from New York, whatever. She was telling me and another person whose luggage also got damaged. It's like, oh, you can file a claim within 24 hours. Okay, that's what I thought too. So I was like, oh, well, I'll just wait, you know, at the end of the day of, to report the claim. But then when I was about to do it, it says, no, for domestic flights, is 4 hours. For international flights, it's 24 hours. And I'm like, you fuckers. So my claim got denied. And now I'm stuck with a luggage with 3 wheels. That's what the damage was. So yeah, one of the wheels came off. And trust me, dragging that luggage in New York City was not really much of a hassle. Only when you just have to leave it standing is obviously going to tilt down. But yeah, that was another thing. So whenever we landed from the airport, got a lift to New York, and yeah, that shit was hella expensive. From Newark airport to the hotel, I want to say it was what, $70 at that time, and it was only for a few miles. I'm talking like literally what, from downtown Houston to the end of somewhere in 610. That's as good as I can get. It's only a few miles, but yet for $70, that's hella expensive. But at the same time, I feel like it's because of the tolls, because you will have to take, well, in our case, it was from Newark to New York, you will have to take the Lincoln Tunnel, and in there you got to pay tolls, and I think it was like 20 something for the toll. So there's that. But even then, my recommendation is, if you're going to be traveling from an airport to New York City, from Newark airport, I think the best way is to go by train. There is transportations from you to take the air train to Amtrak, and Amtrak will take you to Penn Station. And from Penn Station, that's already in New York, you can just take the subway from there. It's hella cheaper compared to just taking an Uber. That, and they also have the option of you just traveling by bus. And if you were to go to the bus, it would take you straight to the Port Authority bus station. And from the Port Authority bus station, you can still take the subway to wherever you want or get an Uber from there. I feel like there are other transportation and is cheaper compared to taking an Uber. The thing that sucks even more is that you could take the subway straight, like from the airport to your destination in New York. But a lot of people would feel uncomfortable just showing off their luggage over there. But you'd be surprised. I don't think I recorded some of it, but, or maybe it is, I can't remember. But I saw a lot of people walking around in luggages. Literally, even in Times Square, I've saw people wear luggages, and I'm like, what the hell? Like, it was so odd to me. But at the same time, I'm like, are they leaving from their hotel to the airport? Are they arriving? You know, there is a lot of people with luggages. And again, surprisingly enough, there's also luggage lockers, you know, and I know I mentioned it during the video. I was not expecting, though, whenever I did say that it was going to be a luggage locker, if there really wasn't a luggage locker. Instead, we ended up dropping the luggages at a business, but the business kept an eye on it, which was good and all. But then another thing I didn't record was that when you're checking into the hotel room, you will see a bunch of luggages just there, you know, because people arrive from the airport and get to the hotel way before check-in, like, because check-in is usually until 3 p.m. But people get there early and have no choice but to leave their luggages, but they're just there unattended, which is kind of risky at the same time. But I don't know, like, I get it. In New York, it's so common for you guys to have like a different time to arrive at your destination. But me, when I was planning my trip, I'm like, I know check-in is at 3. So I'm going to make sure I get to New York or at any destination at 3 or after, because I don't want to be leaving my luggage there. That's if I'm traveling by plane. If I'm traveling by car, I don't care. You know, obviously me, like, you know, I have a trunk. Everything is covered. You can't even tell there's a luggage in there. So yeah, people are going to think I'm just driving around like nothing. So that I don't care. But when it comes to planes and I don't have anywhere safe to put my luggage, I'm going to find alternatives. Whether, again, that could mean me arriving to my destination later and go from there. But again, do what you will with that information. every experience is different, and it doesn't even have to be in New York City. It could be anywhere. All you got to do is take the risk and go for it, because that's what I did. I never thought I would go to New York City and experience that, because I was a little bit intimidating just for the fact that there's over 9 million people living in New York City. And I'm like, and I think in Texas or Houston alone is like 4 or less than that. But I'm like, yeah, I was a little bit intimidated by the crowds. But again, you guys saw what I saw. It wasn't that crazy. And to this day, I don't know what to say about New York City besides the fact that it was all positive. Like, I mean, yeah, sure, my luggage got damaged, my flight got canceled. I had to, reschedule my flight and extend it and pay more money out of it. But at the end of the day, I had so much fun there. And again, that's why I'm like, I want to go back. So, I don't know. New York City, you guys have my heart. Honestly, like, yeah, it was a fun experience. And again, I don't know when I'm going to go back. As I mentioned before, it could possibly be in 2027, but depending what happens, because anything can happen in the next coming months, days, weeks, whatever. Your life changes like all of a sudden. So I don't know. But with that being said, that wraps up this blog video. Again, make sure to follow my social media accounts at It's Lielers on Instagram, Threads, and X, and subscribe to the YouTube channel at It's Lielers. And also do not forget to follow me on TikTok at Lielers. Lielers on TikTok. Yes, I'm kind of sad that we weren't able to do a podcast episode this week. I'm literally already going to be 3 weeks behind. But I'm going to tell you guys one thing for sure. I'm not going to give you guys updates on really outdated updates. So I know Royal Rumble was literally last night. I had a tremendous time at the watch party, by the way. That's why I sound really hoarse, because I was like screaming and yelling. Congratulations to Jey Uso. I was rooting for him. I was not expecting for him to win, by the way. I was thinking Damian Priest was going to win, or maybe Roman, Seth, CM Punk, or even Cena himself. Those were my predictions. But whenever it came to John Cena and Jey Uso, I was like, oh my God, Jey Uso could possibly win. I did uploaded my experience of the watch party on my TikTok and my Instagram. Shout out to Apollo HOU for inviting me. Zilla Fatu was also in attendance, by the way, at the watch party. And I wasn't able to take a picture with him only because at the beginning there was a long ass line. And I'm like, you know me, I'm impatient. And then after the watch party, I was like, great, now I gotta wait again. I'm like, nah, I'm gonna go ahead and dip. So sorry, Zilla, Other than that, I had so much fun. It was crazy, insane. And I'm glad to see there's a lot of Houston wrestling fans. So yeah, there's that. The next one for sure is going to be during WrestleMania. I'm going to tell you guys right now, I am not attending the watch party only because I like to be home and experience that moment on my own. And obviously Cosmo needs to be with me, to calm my nerves down. I'm not ready for it. I'm excited. I'm not ready for it though. I know there's a lot of people hating on the fact that Charlotte came back and ended up taking the win, which is something that everybody's already fed up with. I'm already fed up with it. So there's that. But yeah, that, and then also the Grammys is tonight. So next week's podcast episode, again, all delayed, sorry about that, but we will be talking about the winners of who won the Grammy for Best Metal Performance. I'm actually rooting for Gojira with Mea Culpa, so hopefully. But other than that, I'm also going to be updating you guys just on a few things, again, that were a little bit outdated, but not for the most part. And then whatever's been happening this coming week in pop culture. So thank you guys for watching this blog video. If you watched the announcement of the next trip for the blog video, stay tuned for that, which is more reasons why y'all need to subscribe to the YouTube channel. But for sure, I don't know what the next blog video would be. I have a feeling it might come in sooner, only because next coming weekend, Animeverse, I think that's what it's called, is coming here to Houston, and I'm thinking about going because Rey Mysterio is going to be there. We'll see. We'll see. I'm not saying I'm going to go for sure. I'm debating on it. But anywho, thank you guys for watching this vlog video. And I will talk to you guys on the next one.